you have to look at IPM as a whole. Like you have to look at all 5 years of the program, which is essentially getting an MBA. So you cannot compare MBA roles with undergrad roles. If you were to look at someone who's done their undergrad from SRCC and then immediately joined an MBA program, they will also get the same type of roles.
Oh, okay. Makes sense. Yeah.
McKinsey में जो आपका बेस रोल होता है दैट इज दैट ऑफ अ बिजनेस एनालिस्ट. सो जब आप उसमें आगे जाते हो देन इवेंचुअली इट बिकम्स एंगेजमेंट मैनेजर देन पार्टनर. उसके बीच में ऑफ कोर्स अ लॉट ऑफ रोल्स आर देयर, राइट? सो इट डिपेंड्स फ्रॉम इंडस्ट्री, लाइक कंपनी टू कंपनी. बीसीजी में कुछ और होता है, बेन में कुछ और होता है. सोसाइटीज एज अ होल कैन गेट कॉम्पिटिटिव कंसिडरिंग large batch and limited societies. या limited मैं बोलूंगा limited seats per society, right? And then लोग उसको tier wise वो कर देते हैं कि ये अच्छी है etc. So वैसे करके it tends to get competitive, but overall I would say almost every society would give you a very good exposure.
Do not bluff in the interview at all. They can catch you in an instant. These are experienced professors who've been doing this for years. Please remember that they don't only take IPMAT interviews. These are the same professors that take your CAT interviews as well. So
Hello. Welcome to Belly Balance. This is Shruti.
This is Vanshika.
Today we have with us two very special guests, Ayushman Bhatra and Meghna Agrawal. Meghna secured an impressive AIR 13 in the IPMAT 2020 attempt. She was a summer intern at Carney. She is currently in her last year of Masters, pursuing her MBA from IIM Indore, one of India's top B schools. She was a summer intern at Carney, management consultant trainee at PwC, and research intern at Tata Technologies.
Okay, talking about Ayushman, he was All India Rank 1 in the CET 2022 attempt and is now pursuing his bachelor's at SRCC, one of Asia's best colleges. Ayushman is the founder of Ingenium, a student-led consultancy and a well-known name on LinkedIn. He's already had a stellar professional journey with internships at Urban Company and Marico Limited, and is even a Mitsubishi Scholarship recipient. So, hi guys, will you like to say something to our audience?
hi guys, thank you for the invitation. Glad to be here.
And hi guys, Ayushman, as introduced by Vanshika. Thank you so much, Vanshika, for that warm introduction. Super excited to see how this podcast goes, and let's hoping that it's super valuable for the people. So yeah.
Okay, so jumping right into the questions. The first question we have for you is, how did you decide and how should someone decide that they should go for CUET or IPMAT or both?
So थोड़ा इसको naturally रखेंगे guys in terms of my opinions as well. देखो, what I would like to first up straight up say in terms of CUET कि मतलब do not view CUET and IPMAT as मैं बोलूंगा राइवल्स इन अ वे कि CUET वर्सेस IPMAT दोनों बहुत अलग अलग है. द वे आई सी इट इज CUET और IPMAT आप दोनों साथ साथ में भी कर सकते हो, एंड यू कैन हैव अ प्रेफरेंस ओवर विच वन इज बेटर ओवर द अदर. एंड हाउ डू यू डिटरमाइन दैट इज अ रिजल्ट और अ फंक्शन ऑफ योर ओन एक्सपीरियंसेस ऑफ व्हाट यू वुड लाइक टू हैव and the kind of subjects that you would like to study. So it's like a mixture of a lot of things. तो factors हम लोग of course discuss कर सकते हैं. And I would firstly like to say कि सबसे पहले try and figure out the subjects that you want to appear for, the kind of expertise that you might have. एक बार जब आप वो figure out कर लेते हो for the subjects that you're good at, then it becomes pretty much relevant and easy for you to go ahead. तो अब how do we do that? तो देखो, सबसे पहले तो कुछ सब्जेक्ट्स आप ऑलरेडी अपने 12th में पढ़ चुके होंगे. सो इसमें द मेन क्राइटेरिया या तो आपने मैथ रखा होगा या मैथ नहीं रखा होगा. सो इट्स नॉट लाइक कि आईपीमैट में बिना मैथ्स के नहीं जा सकते. यू कैन स्टिल अपीयर फॉर आईपीमैट even without having math. Of course you'll have to study maths, जो कि थोड़ा difficult होता है, but a lot of people tend to prepare for IPMAT even without having maths in their 11th and 12th. So that's all right, you can still do that. कोई as such hard and fast नहीं है, but still relatively you have to be good at math. मतलब even though आपने नहीं रखा 11-12 में, that's all right, but आपको बहुत strong होना पड़ेगा, considering बहुत heavily skewed रहता है in terms of quantitative ability when it comes to IPMAT. So one of the main देखना होगा, आर यू रियली गुड एट मैथ या फिर कैन यू सॉल्व फॉर इट. सो देखो, फोबिया मैथ का मेरे को भी बचपन में पहले था. सो इट्स नॉट लाइक कि कोई बहुत ही बड़ा प्रॉब्लम होता है. यू कैन डेफिनेटली रिकवर फ्रॉम दैट. ऐसा कुछ बहुत बड़ा प्रॉब्लम नहीं होता है, बट यू हैव टू एक्चुअली सी कि आप कितना कर पाओगे, एंड रियलिस्टिकली हैव टू बी ट्रू टू योरसेल्फ कि मैथ्स मेरी कितनी लेवल पे है, एंड कैन आई मतलब सॉल्व फॉर दैट इन अ कम्पिटिटिव फील्ड एज कम्पिटिटिव एज IPMAT. बिकॉज डेफिनेटली आपको एप्लीकेशन नंबर वाइज कम लग रहा होगा मे बी, बट बहुत ही कम सीट्स होती है. सो इन दैट वे बहुत ही ज्यादा कम्पिटिटिव हो जाता है. Now talking a bit about CUET, right? So CUET basically क्या है? It's not just about Delhi University, because बहुत लोग क्या सोचते हैं CUET से लिंक करते हैं Delhi University. It opens your doors to lots and lots of universities. ठीक है, मतलब जितने भी सेंट्रल यूनिवर्सिटी है वो तो है ही, उसके अलावा भी टाटा इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ सोशल साइंसेस, बहुत सारे आपके नॉर्मल प्राइवेट कॉलेजेस होते हैं, एक्सेट्रा एक्सेट्रा, बहुत सारे एप्लीकेशंस आपके खुल जाते हैं अंडर सेंट्रल यूनिवर्सिटी एज वेल. चाहे आपका दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी हो गया, BHU हो गया, देन आपका इलाहाबाद यूनिवर्सिटी एक्सेट्रा, बहुत सारे होते हैं. लाइक ऑनेस्टली अगर हम वही डिस्कस करें तो सिर्फ कॉलेजेस जो फॉल अंडर करते हैं CUET के परव्यू, दैट वुड बी अ होल अदर पॉडकास्ट इन इटसेल्फ. But the thing is that you should ideally appear for CUET. You should, if you feel you are good at math, you should appear for IPMAT as well. Ultimately try to maximize your chances, but have like at least one priority. So मेरे केस में, although I'm telling you to maximize your option, I personally did not go ahead with IPMAT. So I can of course share that journey as well, but of course उसको आगे with time discuss करते रहते हैं as we go ahead with the podcast. But one thing I would tell you is कि आप अपने current abilities को देखो, your strengths, weakness. Consider math as a separate function as well, कि आप उसमें कितने अच्छे हो, and look at your dreams, careers and aspirations. वो सारी चीजों को factor in करके then you can decide.
Okay.
Thanks, Ayushman. Those were some great points. I think it makes sense that you should, if you have to prioritize either one of the exams, you pick one based on your strengths. I'd just like to talk a little about when he mentioned that you also should take into consideration your dreams and aspirations. So here, what you should consider is the curriculum of both the options. So if you join any course at DU, you would probably end up studying BCom or Eco Honors, Stats, Maths, etc. But at IIM Indore, in the IPM program, you don't have to particularly pick. So you get exposed to courses across various domains. So you study courses across economics, across statistics, across mathematics, across humanities and social sciences. You study coding, you study drama, dance, a second language. So all of this you can study in the first 3 years. So and very understandably, if at this point in your life you're unsure and you do not want to commit to one particular domain, I think IPM would be a great option for you all. So, very valid points, Vanchika. I'd just like to debunk a few of these points. When you join the IPM program, you're not bound for 5 years. You have an option to take an exit after 3 years, where you leave with a degree that is BA in Foundations of Management. And then you can go out, you can work, get some work experience, and then once again, join whatever master's program suits you. When it comes to math being an integral part of the curriculum, there are some math heavy courses, like you have courses based on calculus, etc. But also because the professors understand that not everyone comes from a math background, they are cognizant of the fact and they make sure that they start from scratch. And you also need to know that in IPM, we have something called relative grading. So what relative grading does is you're not marked based on your absolute score, you're graded on a curve. So as long as you are in the middle 50% of the batch, you get a B. So relative grading a lot of times helps you sail through because everyone else is also in a similar boat. So I don't think anyone should opt out of the IPM program solely thinking that they might not be able to handle the rigorous mathematics in the course. I don't believe that to be true, but if you're completely scared of mathematics, if you don't want to take any course that even touches mathematics, then I don't think this would be for you.
So moving on to the next question, that is from Meghna. The question is that how different is IPMAT from CAT in level of difficulty?
So I don't think that's a question that anyone even needs to ask. You don't have to worry about how it compares to CAT because those are not the two options you have at the moment. Like you're not picking between CAT or IPMAT. What you should look at is what are the topics covered under IPMAT? How can I best prepare those topics? If you're really concerned, the most you can do is you can look at the number of people applying versus the number of seats, etc. But once again, that does you no good. If you have to pick, I would say pick based on if you're comfortable with the format and structure of the exam. And like Ayushman said initially, if you can give both the exams, there's nothing better.
Also, there's a thing that IPMAT is comparatively easier. You have higher chances of getting into the IIM, whereas if you give CAT, so the rates of getting into the IIM are quite less when you give CAT. So that should be one criteria that everyone should keep in their mind.
I mean, I don't have the exact numbers to either agree or disagree with you, but based on what I remember from my year, based on all of the calculations we did to justify our admission into the first year, we concluded that based on the number of available seats and the number of applicants, IPMAT was more difficult. Because for CAT, you have a lot of IIMs, you have baby IIMs, you have the new IIMs, and then the number of people taking CAT. There was another thing that we discussed. We used to talk about how CAT everyone gives. Like today you wake up and you're like, oh, let me give my first attempt. But IPMAT, because you don't have a lot of time to prepare, only very serious candidates end up taking. So if you take that also into consideration, all of that affects which one is easier to pass. But I would always say that if eventually your goal is to do an MBA and you don't mind not working post your undergrad, this is a great option.
Right. Okay. So moving ahead, when do you think is the right time to actually start preparing for the exams? And as in, how much time should one dedicate daily, weekly for actually preparing for both the examinations?
Ayushman, go ahead.
Sure. So I'd like to take this first. In terms of CVT, यार मतलब यहाँ पे क्या होता है? A lot of people tend to think boards are different, CVT is different, then again IPMAT is different. ऐसा नहीं है. Like in terms of, I would say CVT is a very good intersection between what you'd be studying for, let's say IPMAT and other general entrance examinations, and you know what you're studying for boards. उसका एक बहुत अच्छा intersection है, because when it comes to a CVT का pattern for most courses, like for example BCom honors, Eco honors, etc. I'm referring to Delhi University here for simplification sake. But again, वहाँ पे क्या रहता है आपके in terms of the courses or the subjects that you require, it's usually one language, then 3 domains. Domains as in subjects that you've studied in your board examination, right? So since you already have 3 subjects that would be coming in that you've already studied till your board examination, the best way to chart your preparation journey would essentially be कि आप board exam के लिए अच्छे से तैयारी करो. Make sure to do boards के PYQs अच्छे से, previous year question paper. Make sure to do boards के sample paper. मतलब I would say कि don't try to block your time कि ऐसे कि इतने टाइम आई स्टडी फॉर सीयूटी, इतने टाइम बोर्ड, इतने टाइम आईपीमैट के लिए डेफिनेटली आपको अलग से जरूर पढ़ना पड़ेगा, बट आपको उसमें भी ऐसे मतलब स्पेसिफिकली डिवोट मत करो कि आईपीमैट है. यू हैव टू मेक इट लाइक कि अच्छा ये क्वांट पढ़ रहा हूँ मैं वर्बल पढ़ रहा हूँ, दिस टाइम इज गोइंग फॉर लॉजिकल रीजनिंग. सो बिकॉज लॉजिकल रीजनिंग और क्वांट आपको बहुत ज्यादा हेल्प करेंगे फॉर योर जनरल टेस्ट, जो कि आपको सीयूटी में होता है एज एन ऑल्टरनेटिव ऑप्शन एज वेल. अगर आपको SSCBS जाना है, जो कि बहुत लोग मतलब इन टर्म्स ऑफ अंडरग्रेड जो आप IIM इंदौर पढ़ रहे हो, वैसे बहुत लोग SSCBS भी सिमिलर क्राइटेरिया में उसको कंप्लीट करते हैं एंड उसके लिए भी टारगेट करते हैं, बिकॉज वहां पे आप BMS पढ़ रहे हो, BFIA कर रहे हो. BFIA इज लार्जली एक पूरा फाइनेंस ओरिएंटेड करिकुलम इन अ मैनेजमेंट सेटअप, एंड BMS तो पूरा ही मैनेजमेंट के अराउंड रहता है. तो इट्स वेरी मच सिमिलर इन अ वे. इट्स जस्ट दैट कि वो इंटीग्रेटेड करिकुलम नहीं है, जस्ट आपका अंडरग्रेड है, राइट? So undergrad में a lot of people tend to go for SSCBS as well, शाहिद सुखदेव, and उसमें भी आपको वही ऑप्शन मिलता है that आप जनरल टेस्ट लो प्लस आप एक डोमेन लो, दैट डोमेन इज मैथ्स कंपलसरी, एंड एक आप लैंग्वेज दो, तो वो चीज होती है. सो इफ यू आर प्रिपेयरिंग फॉर आईपीमैट, यू आर लार्जली प्रिपेयरिंग फॉर SSCBS एज वेल, बिकॉज आपका जो जनरल टेस्ट है आप उसमें क्वांट और LR के लिए तैयारी कर ही रहे हो. जस्ट आपको एक्स्ट्रा पार्ट करना होता है विच इज करंट अफेयर्स, एंड करंट अफेयर्स भी आप आईपीमैट में फॉर अ वेरी स्ट्रॉन्ग कैंडिडेट, आपको पता है आप इंटरव्यू तक जाओगे तो यू ऑलरेडी डू प्रिपेयर फॉर करंट अफेयर्स, बिकॉज इंटरव्यू में पूछा जाता है. सो बहुत हद तक सिमिलर ही है. देन व्हेन यू टॉक अबाउट वर्बल, आईपीमैट का वर्बल रिलेटिवली ज्यादा डिफिकल्ट होता है, एरर स्पॉटिंग वगैरह बहुत कुछ आता है, बट स्टिल सीयूटी में भी अगर आप वो प्रिंसिपल से पढ़ते हो इन टर्म्स ऑफ सॉल्विंग, रीडिंग कॉम्प्रिहेंशन वगैरह, तो इट वुड स्टिल हेल्प यू. मतलब आई वुड से कि अगर आईपीमैट का प्रिपरेशन एक बड़ा सर्कल है तो उसका सबसेट है सीयूटी का प्रिपरेशन इन टर्म्स ऑफ लैंग्वेज का प्रिपरेशन, ठीक है? सेम गोस फॉर आपका Quant and LR as well. Quant and LR for IPMAT is relatively way tougher as compared to general test. But general test, it's like अगर आप IPMAT की तैयारी कर रहे हो, आपको general test की तैयारी करने की जरूरत नहीं है largely, except for the current affairs part, because आपने कर लिया. आपको language की भी उतनी तैयारी करने की जरूरत नहीं है. Just that CUT specific mock जरूर दे देना, because there are some people, I've had seen that happen with me as well. When you prepare for level 10, like सबसे difficult level, कभी कभी level 5 बहुत easy आ जाता है ना, then you get stuck because आपने इतना easy लगा, आपको practice करा ही नहीं है. So make sure कि अगर CUT आपको लग भी रहा है language वाले level पे, verbal पे, GTA level पे easy है, just still do at least one mock every day, like in the last 30 days of your exam. That is something I did follow. And before, like आपका जो बोर्ड वाली जर्नी है वहां पे what I would tell you is कि सबसे ज्यादा मैक्सिमाइज करो अपने बोर्ड्स के लिए, बिकॉज एक बार बोर्ड्स का आपका अच्छा परसेंटेज आएगा, आपको एक अच्छा बूस्ट मिलेगा मोरल का, एंड आपके प्री बोर्ड्स वगैरह आपको कंटिन्यूअसली मोटिवेट करते रहेंगे व्हेन यू डू दैट वेल, राइट? एंड उसके साथ साथ में इट वुड बिकम लाइक अ गुड बैकअप. लाइक कुछ कॉलेजेस है जो स्टिल बोर्ड्स के थ्रू लेते हैं. सेंट जेवियर्स कोलकाता कम्स टू माय माइंड. वी कैन टॉक अबाउट बैकअप कॉलेजेस लेटर, बट हाँ, एक बैकअप कॉलेज के सेंस में आपको हेल्प करेगा जब आप प्लेसमेंट्स के लिए बाद में अप्लाई करोगे उसमें हेल्प करेगा. इवन जब आप सीयूटी में अप्लाई करोगे तो इवन वंशिका माइट नो, जो टाई ब्रेकर राउंड होता है वहां पे आपके बोर्ड्स के स्कोर कंसिडर होते हैं. एंड इस बार सिंस आपका ओएमआर बेस्ड था, सो लॉट ऑफ पीपल डिड नॉट, मतलब नॉर्मलाइजेशन कम हो, सो लॉट ऑफ पीपल गॉट द सेम स्कोर 782 788. तो वहां पे उनका बोर्ड का स्कोर से रैंकिंग बहुत ह्यूज डिफरेंस क्रिएट हो गया. सो बोर्ड्स में उस सेंस में भी हेल्प होता ही है. एंड अगैन आई एम श्योर मेघना वुड अग्री कि जब आप एक्चुअली इंटरव्यू देने जाते हो तो आपके बोर्ड्स के स्कोर पूछते हैं. वेल, इट्स नॉट लाइक कि आपका बोर्ड्स का स्कोर डील ब्रेकर हो सकता है, बट इट स्टिल हेल्प्स टू शो दैट यू आर अ डिसिप्लिन पर्सन. एंड इवेंचुअली अगर आपको स्टिल आईएम में जाना है, लेट्स से आप आईपी मैट के थ्रू नहीं जा रहे, तब तो मेघना अग्री करेगी, आईएम इंदौर तो बहुत ज्यादा हाई परसेंटेज देता है फॉर 10th and 12th. एंड इन जनरल भी आईएम्स बहुत ज्यादा परसेंटेज देते हैं फॉर योर 10th and 12th ग्रेड. सो इस चीज के लिए यू हैव टू बी वेरी वेरी. तो आप प्लीज बोर्ड्स पे तो फोकस करो ही, ठीक है. बोर्ड्स को प्लीज ऐसा मत सोचो कि अब तो सीयूटी हो रहा है, आईपी मैट हो रहा है, बोर्ड्स को फेंक दो. नहीं, बोर्ड्स इज इंपॉर्टेंट, बोर्ड्स आर इंपॉर्टेंट, ठीक है. तो मेक श्योर कि आप अच्छे से बोर्ड एग्जाम्स दो.
CUET, of course, Ayushman has already mentioned, and what he said about IPMAT is also correct. A lot of syllabus overlaps with what you study in 11th and 12th or 10th or 9th, whatever you studied till now. I think it overlaps more with the CBSE 11th, 12th math curriculum versus ICSE. But I think that is something that you can check. I'm not sure about the CBSE, ICSE thing. On top of it, there are some topics that you won't study in 11th and 12th math, but that is something you've studied ever since your childhood. Speed, time, A and B are running, A wants to catch up to B, how much time will it take? It's basic arithmetic, where instead of your math skill, your logic skills are tested more. So these sort of questions for these sort of topics, you could spend some extra time on the weekend. And for all of the other topics that overlap with what you're already studying in 11th and 12th, all you need to do is, the concept still largely remains the same, right? All you need to learn is the trick to solve certain types of questions. And that is only an add-on. So first, study whatever time you're giving to your 11th, 12th classes, to your board exams. Give time to that. And then on top of it, whenever you get the time, I would still say, instead of just the weekends, you should dedicate a little time every day to, say, read up on tips and tricks. What helped me was that I maintained a notebook where every time I came across a question that needed me to apply a trick, I wrote it down. So the same trick you would end up applying across multiple questions. And why this was important to me was that my brain was hardwired to solve a question in the way that I was doing it for boards. So that involved writing all formulae, and that involved making sure that every step was seen. But that is not how you solve it in a competitive exam. So you have to retrain your brain to solve it using the shortcut or to solve it quicker. Another thing I would like to say is, while this is not something I recommend, sometimes if you feel like you just don't have the time, you have the liberty of letting go of some of the topics when it comes to math. So I think there are a couple of topics that aren't covered in 11th and 12th. And if you're really struggling, you absolutely don't have the time, you could choose to eliminate that and make sure that you're very strongly prepared for all of the other topics. For logical reasoning, if it is common with CUET, a lot of LR is basically the same. There's not much difference when it comes to LR. And for English, I would definitely recommend people to take mock tests, because without that, there's no way of telling how prepared you are. You can think that your English is great, but when it comes to picking and solving and looking at those trick questions, there's no other way to tell.
So IPMAT May, there's a third level as well that you'll have to clear the interview. So I would like to ask that what kind of questions do you actually get asked in the interview and how long does it last?
So I feel like interviews is one of the most important things that often gets overlooked when it comes to IPMAT prep. When it comes to how long it lasts, there's no given time frame that it would last for. It could go on from anywhere between 10 minutes to 35, 40 minutes. What do they ask in these interviews? It can be anything, quite literally. It depends on your answers. So the questions will follow up from what you answer. They could probably start the interview by asking you about where you're from, what courses you studied in your 11th and 12th, where you studied. And based on what you tell them, they can ask you any questions. So be ready to be quizzed on your courses that you studied in 11th and 12th, from basic concepts to trick questions. They can ask you your hobbies. Say you mentioned that you play table tennis. They could ask you questions like, who's the number one right now in world table tennis? Who's the number one female player in world table tennis? What's the dimension of a TT table, how much does a TT ball weigh? It could be anything. And a lot of times they're not expecting you to know the answer. They are more interested in seeing how you handle those questions. Do you get flustered when you don't know the answer? How respectfully do you tell them that you do not know the answers? So those sort of things I feel become very important. This also some sort of extempore that they ask in interviews, not necessarily, but it does come up sometimes. They could ask you your position on different economical concepts. They could ask you what you think of India's economy right now. Where do you see it going? They could ask you the minister of your state, any GK questions. So pretty much anything under the sun that is related to what you've said in the interview could be asked from you. If I were to give some tips on how to prep for the interview, I would say be thorough with every subject you've studied in 11th and 12th. Do read up on the latest happenings around the world. And I remember when I was prepping, I had this huge list. So I gave the table tennis example because I mentioned that I was a table tennis player. And I was expecting these sort of questions based on what I had read online. So I had this huge fact sheet where I had written and memorized all of these answers. So I think it's really important to anticipate what kind of questions could be asked of you. To help with that, you could ask some of your friends to take mock interviews for you, where tell them to ask all sorts of questions they consider ridiculous, anything and everything. And that would give you a huge list of possible questions that you can then be prepared for. Also, think about what you're going to mention. Think about what hobbies you're going to mention. Do not bluff. Do not bluff in the interview at all. They can catch you in an instant. These are experienced professors who've been doing this for years. Please remember that they don't only take IPMAT interviews. These are the same professors that take your CAT interviews as well. So, big disclaimer, do not bluff. Be prepared, anticipate the questions, and then create a checklist of them and your possible answers.
So moving ahead, did you guys have a plan B? If not CUET, if not FMAT, then what?
So
I'd like to take that first. Personally, मेरे case में था, like while I already explained in terms of a backup in terms of St. Xavier's College Kolkata, so actually I did go there. So I had scored about 98% in my 12th grade. So I was able to get admission into St. Xavier's Kolkata for its prestigious BCom honors, the morning course. So fortunately, when I did go there, so I was just having a good experience. But after 2 months, I did get the result about CUT, जो all India rank 1 वाला था. So fortunately, फिर मेरे को पता ही था that I can shift to SRCC now. So that is when I essentially shifted colleges. But had SRCC not happened, मतलब I would have probably been in Xavier's. Considering उसमें आपका जो college का timings रहता है 6 to 10 ही रहता है. So उसके like 6 to 10 a.m. So सुबह 10 a.m. का you're literally free for the whole day, and you can some people usually take up chartered accountancy as a course. Some people tend to take up finance courses, FRM, CFA. Some people do a lot of internships alongside the day. Some people even take up full-time gigs, like to get more experiences. So definitely a lot that can be done. But yeah, अगर हिंदू हंसराज SRCC टाइप्स इतना प्लान था कि इतने तक तो दिल्ली, नहीं तो फिर Xavier's, ऐसा कुछ करके मैं प्लान था. But again, in hindsight, I think there are a lot of factors at play in that case as well. But yeah, it always never hurts to have a backup. So in terms of CUT, Xavier's Kolkata is a good backup, considering वो boards के through लेता है. Then other ones job के entrances के through लेते हैं, could be Christ, could be Symbiosis, NMIMS, etc. तो बहुत सारे options होते ही हैं. I'm sure IPMAT के लिए भी बहुत सारे और भी options होते हैं.
personally, I didn't have a backup plan. This is the only college that I applied to. And in my time, you could enter DU through your board's marks. So obviously I had that. If it didn't work out, I probably would have ended up joining some DU college. But definitely not recommended. Please have a backup option. All of them were listed by Ayushman in great detail.
Okay. So, right now, talking about the campus life, how's the culture at Delhi University versus IIMs? Like, what's the difference?
So, okay. So I'd like to go ahead first in terms of Delhi University. Firstly, I would say that even कॉलेजेस, सब कॉलेज का अपना कल्चर होता है, अपने टाइप के अलग अलग पीपल होते हैं, राइट? सो वैसा रहता है, बट अक्रॉस द यूनिवर्सिटी वन थिंग दैट यू विल फाइंड इन कॉमन इज द वाइब्रेंट कल्चर, इन द सेंस कि बहुत ज्यादा वैरायटी होती है, हर टाइप के सोसाइटीज आपको मिल जाएंगे, एंड बहुत ज्यादा एक्टिव रहते हैं ये सारे सोसाइटीज, बहुत सारी चीजें कर रहे होते हैं विच यू वुड थिंक कि मतलब यूजुअली वुड गेट सच एक्सपोजर व्हेन यू एक्चुअली गेट इनटू द वर्कफोर्स, बट यहाँ पे आपको वो एक्चुअल एक्सपीरियंस पहले मिल जाता है, बीट अक्रॉस आपका आर्ट, म्यूजिक, डांस, ये सब के अराउंड तो है कल्चरल सोसाइटीज, but even across things that you want to go into as a professional career path. It could be finance, it could be consulting, marketing, etc. उसमें भी रहता है, आपके फेस्ट भी बहुत सारे हो रहे होते हैं, सो मतलब प्रिटी गुड इन टर्म्स ऑफ एक्सपोजर. कमिंग टू एसआरसीसी पर्टिकुलरली, वहां पे तो बहुत ही ज्यादा मस्त है. लाइक ऑफ कोर्स सोसाइटीज एज अ होल कैन गेट कम्पिटिटिव कंसिडरिंग यू नो लार्ज बैच एंड लिमिटेड सोसाइटीज, या लिमिटेड मैं बोलूंगा लिमिटेड सीट्स पर सोसाइटी, राइट? एंड देन लोग उसको टीयर वाइज वो कर देते हैं कि ये अच्छी है एक्सेट्रा. सो वैसे करके इट टेंड्स टू गेट कॉम्पिटिटिव, बट ओवरऑल आई वुड से ऑलमोस्ट एवरी सोसाइटी वुड गिव यू अ वेरी गुड एक्सपोजर टू लर्न थिंग्स. एंड ऑनेस्टली हर सोसाइटी कुछ ना कुछ क्रेजी करती रहती है, बी इट इन टर्म्स ऑफ द प्लेसमेंट सेल, having such a large student driven placement cycle, so that is very amazing. फिर आपका इनाक्टस, दे ऑल्सो गो लाइक अलग अलग कंट्रीज में जाते हैं फॉर द नेशनल वर्ल्ड कप रिप्रेजेंटिंग इंडिया. देन बाकी आप हर सोसाइटी का ले लो, चाहे डिबेटिंग सोसाइटी, इकोनॉमिक सोसाइटी, FIC, 180 डिग्रीज कंसल्टिंग, सभी दे टेंड टू हैव अ वेरी गुड opportunity, they tend to have a lot of good opportunities for students to explore themselves.
I would say compared to DU, I am in Indore mein the society culture is not that vibrant. I think it's still building up, it's still taking place given that the program is not that old yet. So we don't have a concept of societies, we have committees and then we have interest groups. So interest groups are not that big as of yet. You still get to take part, you still get to interact with people with similar interests, but we don't do a lot of external facing stuff. So that way, little less vibrant, but still good enough that you can find like-minded people and enjoy. What's different, I would say, is that given that IPM is a completely residential program, it has a huge impact on your entire college experience. So when you live with the people that you're also studying with, you are able to you get exposed to a lot of different interests. So if someone has no exposure whatsoever to finance, you are almost 100% likely to end up in the same room as someone who has an extremely high interest in finance. And maybe that is how you start your exposure to what investing is or what even a mutual fund is, say. So I feel like those after college hours with people with varied interests and all exceptional people gives you a great exposure to new interests and new skills. So that way the culture is different, but society is definitely more vibrant at DU.
Yeah, right. Okay, so moving ahead, what are the various career paths available after the completion of the course? Meghna, you can go first, and then Ayushman, you can answer this.
Sure. So career paths after IPM would be the same that you would get after MBA from any IIM. You could go into consulting, you could go into financial roles, marketing, Prodman, Genman, all top companies that you could possibly imagine. And you enter at a second level of role. So after your undergrad from DU, say from SRCC, you are likely to join at the entry level role. But after MBA, it's usually entry level plus one role. So I know a lot of consulting companies, say for example, also come to SRCC. So the difference is the level that you join at. And I'm not sure of what kind of marketing companies visit SRCC, but so you join marketing companies as a sales personnel or in hardcore marketing department where you're responsible for designing campaigns. You could be responsible for heading sales. Consulting, I think most people know, you join as an analyst. When it comes to finance, you could join in risk roles, in wealth management roles, you could be managing funds, you could also be in investment banking. Then you have the usual Genman and Prodman as well.
Okay, so मतलब I think Meghna has covered quite well in terms of the MBA based roles. So MBA based roles, what typically happens is that you are actually at one step ahead. Basically, जैसे अगर आपको I give you the example of, let's say, in terms of consulting McKinsey. So at McKinsey, when you start off, it's like a business analyst type of a role, right? Then you eventually become associate consultant, etc. Right? मतलब the terminologies may differ from company to company, but McKinsey में जो आपका base role होता है, that is that of a business analyst. So जब आप उसमें आगे जाते हो, then eventually it becomes engagement manager, then partner. उसके बीच में of course a lot of roles are there, right? So it depends from industry, like company to company. BCG में कुछ और होता है, Bain में कुछ और होता है, McKinsey में कुछ और होता है. But let's say अगर आप ऐसे assume करो, let's say अगर सबसे first business analyst है, second associate है, so someone from SRCC might be able to get into that business analyst position. But अगर कोई MBA कर रहा है, तो they would directly get into that associate position, right? So वो आपका एक difference होता है. Obviously मतलब सेंस भी बनाता है, बिकॉज इफ यू आर डूइंग लाइक एन एमबीए डायरेक्टली, तो यू आर हैविंग टू पुट इन 5 years rather than 3. तो उससे ऑफकोर्स आपका एक वैल्यू एडिशन ज्यादा हो रही होती है, राइट? सो एक वो चीज होती है. बट इन टर्म्स ऑफ रोल्स इट्स क्वाइट सिमिलर, ऑल्दो प्रोडक्ट मैनेजमेंट और जेनमैन का रिलेटिवली कम है, बहुत ही कम है ऑलमोस्ट. मार्केटिंग स्टिल देयर, एचयूएल ऑल्सो यूजुअली कम्स, तो ऐसे अच्छे कंपनीज आ जाते हैं. बट जेनमैन और प्रोडक्ट का रिलेटिवली कम है. फाइनेंस में ऑल्सो यू विल फाइंड ऑल द टॉप कंपनीज इन टर्म्स ऑफ इन्वेस्टमेंट बैंकिंग रोल्स, तो आपको एनालिस्ट लेवल रोल्स देंगे. एंड बी स्कूल में यू विल फाइंड एसोसिएट लेवल रोल्स, तो एक स्टेप ऊपर, राइट? And same goes in consulting. You will find analyst level roles in undergrad, right out of undergrad, and then B school में आपको एक step ऊपर. But just one thing again, कि ये जो आपको analyst level role मिल रहे हैं, ये भी आपके दो टाइप के हो सकते हैं. एक हो सकता है बैक एंड, एक हो सकता है फ्रंट एंड. बैक एंड आपको नॉर्मली बहुत कॉलेज में मिल सकता है अंडरग्रेड में, लाइक आपको दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी में, इवन साउथ कैंपस तक में भी, इफ यू ट्राई वेल, तो यू कैन गेट बैक एंड रोल्स. बट जो फ्रंट एंड होता है, इट इज यूजुअली वेरी वेरी डिफिकल्ट टू गेट. आउट ऑफ अंडरग्रेड तो और ज्यादा मुश्किल हो जाता है. आउट ऑफ एमबीए भी मुश्किल होता ही है, बट आउट ऑफ एमबीए यूजुअली वो फ्रंट एंड के लिए लेना चाहते हैं, बिकॉज दीज आर पीपल हु हैव honed their communication skills, presentation skills quite well. But out of undergrad, since you are like an untested commodity, front end crack करना बहुत मुश्किल होता है, which is why it is available to only the absolute top colleges. तो let's say अगर आपके पास नहीं है, what you can essentially do is, let's say if you're not at some of these top colleges, such as undergrad में अगर SSCBS, SRCC, Stephens, LSR ये सब हो गए, if you're not there, it's nothing to be मतलब आपको बुरा फील नहीं करना है. Because what you can do is you can essentially go into back-end roles सबसे पहले, learn the art, learn the craft, and then essentially then get promoted to front-end roles eventually. That is also something that a lot of people tend to do. Otherwise, you can obviously do an MBA to shift to the front-end roles. That is also an option.
So basically, because you're dedicating 2 years extra in IPMAT, you get better roles in some places like consulting, right?
So
Yeah, it's always like a value add from one stage to another.
it's not
Yeah,
fair
okay,
to
understood.
compare IPM with DO roles, because you have to look at IPM as a whole. Like you have to look at all 5 years of the program, which is essentially getting an MBA. So you cannot compare MBA roles with undergrad roles. If you were to look at someone who's done their undergrad from SRCC and then immediately joined an MBA program, they will also get the same type of roles.
Oh, okay. Makes sense, yeah.
Right. Okay. So now just have two more questions left. It's kind of like a fun segment. So I would like you both to describe your preparation journey in 3 words.
For me,
Ayushmann,
it would
can
be
you?
hell. Yeah, so for me, it would be hell of a roller coaster. It has been like, it has had so many ups and downs, to be honest. But I'm sure वो सबके केस में ही होता है. अगर आपके केस में currently वो downs आ रहे हो, if you're preparing for such exams, trust me, वो अच्छा हो जाएगा. When I got 98% in my boards, आपको लग सकता है वो अच्छे होंगे, but people who are actually who have previously tracked SRCC के cutoffs know कि 98 से you cannot cut it. So वही है. Fortunately, CUT happened for me, and that is where I made sure कि जो भी मैंने problem करी है या अपने past sins करे हैं, उससे I have to again उसको सही करना होगा. तो वही है, ups and downs बहुत थे.
I would say fun, scary, hectic.
Why scary?
Yeah, even I had the same question. Why scary?
Why scary? Because I didn't have a backup. For me, this was it.
Oh,
So,
okay.
yeah.
Then makes sense. Okay. If you could give just one piece of advice to any aspirants of CUET and IPMAT, what would that be?
Mocks, I would say mocks. Like being consistent and solving mocks, that would go a long way.
I would also have said mocks as my first piece of advice, but given that Ayushman has already said it, particularly for IPMAT, I would say start prepping for the interview just when you're preparing for the exam as well. Because people miss out on preparing for the interview, and once they clear the exam, they realize they don't have a lot of time to prep for the interview. So definitely don't take that lightly.
Good, nice. This conversation is really going to help a lot of students out there. In fact, I got to learn a lot of stuff because back then I didn't have CUET. Also because I was preparing for some other competitive exams. So I didn't even choose it. Like I don't had the option of it, but उसके बाद भी मतलब ऐसा कुछ नहीं था कि I can take a drop here या कोई DUT colleges ले लेते हैं. So yeah, I got to learn a lot.
Right. Okay, so yeah, that was it for today's episode. We hope this was helpful for all of you, whoever is preparing for CVT and IPMAT. And if you have any more questions left, you can drop them in the comment section and we would love to take them up. If we make a part 2 about it, you never know. If you show some love, then definitely we can have a part 2 upon the questions that you'll be asking in the comment section. And yeah, otherwise do like, share, and comment. Bye bye. See you in the next one.